Hey guys, welcome back. So this is part 2 of the KuroKen anonymous story. I've been putting a lot of effort into making these little series fun to watch, and honestly, the idea just popped into my head out of nowhere, like, it wasn't even planned, it just happened. Since then I've been trying to build something that feels interesting, kinda emotional, but still fun for everyone who watches. It's been a lot of work, but also super fun to create, and I really hope you guys can feel that energy when you watch it. Alright, let's not waste any more time, let's dive straight back into the texts. Kenma didn't remember the moment his knees gave out. 1 second, the court was tilting beneath him, the noise too loud, Kyoru's voice cutting sharper than it should, then nothing. When awareness flickered back, it wasn't the echo of the gym or the chatter of teammates he registered first. It was heat. A steady warmth pressed against his side, something solid propping him up, and a familiar scent, sweat, detergent, and faint cologne he'd unconsciously memorized long ago. Kyoru. Oh, Kenma. You're awake? The voice was low this time, not loud and sharp like on the court, but careful, almost coaxing. Kenma blinked, the light above him buzzing. His throat felt dry. What happened? You fainted. Kyoru leaned closer, his face dipping into Kenma's blurry line of sight. His grin was missing, replaced with an expression too serious for comfort. Scared the hell out of me, you know? Heat crawled up Kenma's neck. His chest tightened with something that wasn't entirely from the dizziness. He turned his head away, muttering, "Don't exaggerate." But Kyoru didn't back off. "I'm not. You dropped out cold in the middle of practice. What's going on with you?" The words tangled in Kenma's mind. He couldn't say anonymous. He couldn't say the dreams or the way his thoughts twisted whenever Kyoru was near. So he just shook his head. Kyoru sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "Figures you won't tell me right away. But listen." His tone softened. "I'm not letting this slide. If something's wrong, I want to know." Kenma clenched his fists. Wrong. The word echoed. Something was wrong. He wanted it to be Kyoru, wanted the anonymous messages to connect back to the boy sitting right in front of him, too close, too careful. But that couldn't be right. Could it? Kenma barely registered how he got out of the gym. He remembered Kyoru gripping his arm, that firm voice saying "Come on, I'll take you," and the heavy silence of their teammates staring, too stunned to comment. The next clear moment was sitting on the train bench, leaning against Kyoru's shoulder, the world still tilting a little. "I can go by myself," he muttered, voice faint. Kyoru scoffed. "Not a chance. You passed out in the middle of practice. Relax. I'll take you all the way to your door." Kenma didn't argue. He was too tired, too off balance. All he could feel was the steady warmth of Kyoru's arm bracing his back, that unshakable presence holding him upright. By the time they reached his house, Kyoru stood waiting while Kenma fumbled with the keys. "Text me if it gets worse. And, eat something, alright?" Kenma nodded too quickly, just to end the moment. He didn't want to drag it out, every second made his chest tighten more. When Kyoru finally turned down the street, Kenma stayed there watching his silhouette fade before closing the door behind him. Kenma kicked off his shoes and let his bag drop with a dull thud near the door. The apartment was quiet, the kind of silence that pressed down heavier after the noise of the gym and Kyoru's constant fussing. He should have felt relieved to be home, but instead there was that familiar buzzing under his skin, the one he couldn't shake since the first anonymous donation. He slumped onto the couch, pressing his palms to his eyes. Why did I faint like that? He knew he wasn't sick. It wasn't exhaustion either, he'd played through worse. No, it was the way his thoughts kept looping, circling around Kyoru, dragging him down into something he couldn't admit out loud. And then Kyoru's voice. Always cutting through, sharp, impossible to ignore. Always finding him. Kenma exhaled hard and pulled his phone out of his pocket. If he thought about it too much, he'd spiral. Better to distract himself. And there was only one reliable way to do that. He opened his laptop, slid on his headset, and within minutes, the familiar streaming overlay lit up on screen. The chat box exploded as soon as he went live. Yo, he's live. Kenma, we missed you. New game today? Or Minecraft again, LMAO? You look pale, dude, are you okay? Kenma leaned back in his chair, letting the rhythm of messages wash over him. For the first time since collapsing, he felt the tension loosen a little. He typed something into the chat box before turning on his mic. "Hey, I'm fine. His voice was flat, but steady. Had a long day. The chat spammed with emotes and replies. Long day? Tell us. You look tired fr. Sleep stream when? Kenma hesitated. Normally he'd brush it off, but maybe if he just said it, the weight would lift a little. I fainted at school today. The chat exploded. Hello, Kenma. He just casually said that. Question marks. So that's not normal. Kenma winced at the scrolling flood. It's not a big deal. I'm fine now. Don't freak out. More messages. Worry. Jokes. Some yelling in all caps. And then, Anonymous donated 100 yen. Take care of yourself. Please, you scare us like that. Kenma's hand froze on the mouse. He stared at the words on screen. The phrasing, it felt too close, too direct. Not the playful teasing from random fans. It was personal. Thanks, he said finally, trying to sound unaffected, but his throat tightened around the word. The chat didn't stop. More messages, more emotes, but Kenma's eyes stayed locked on that one line. Anonymous donated 150 yen. Don't push yourself so hard. You don't need to prove anything. His chest clenched. He swallowed, forcing himself to keep talking, to keep the stream moving. Anyway, let's just play. He launched the game, fingers stiff on the keyboard. The donations slowed back to normal chatter, but the words stuck. They always did. Kenma loaded into the game, his avatar spawning in a familiar blocky landscape. He moved slowly at first, his fingers stiff, eyes flicking back to the chat more than usual. Play let's go. Build SMTH ugly today PLS. Don't ignore the fainting comment hello, water hydrate. Now, if you pass out on stream I'm calling the cops. Kenma huffed, almost a laugh, but kept his eyes on the screen. You guys are so dramatic. We care about you. Dramatic equals basic human concern. Kenma blinked twice if you kidnapped. He started gathering wood, his usual routine, but the scrolling text pulled at his attention. And then another donation popped up. Anonymous donated 200 yen. Not dramatic. Just worried. Rest if you need to. Kenma's stomach tightened. His lips parted, but nothing came out for a beat. He quickly clicked into the crafting table. I told you, I'm fine now. Mystery sync is back on. Anon got Riz. Raw next question. Don't act normal after saying I fainted at school. Are you really fine? He muted his mic for a second, dragging a hand down his face, then unmuted. I ate. I slept. It was just nothing. Sounds fake but okay. Kenma gaslighting us RN. Catboy PLS rest. Another notification lit up. Anonymous donated 500 yen. Even if it's nothing, don't brush it off. You matter more than you think. Kenma's grip on the mouse slipped for a moment. His heart thudded loud, is hot. The words were too much, too pointed. He forced his focus back onto the screen, guiding his character to build a makeshift shelter. Thank you. He said finally, his voice smaller than intended. He said thank you. Anonymous bout to make me cry RN. Kenma has a sugar guardian angel. Loki feels inappropriate to watch this. Chat is this flirting? Kenma bit the inside of his cheek. He wanted to shake it off, pretend it didn't mean anything. But the words clung like static in his chest. Anonymous donated 50 yen. Drink some water for me, just once, on stream. Please, seriously. Kenma mumbled, but he reached for the bottle on his desk anyway, lifting it to his lips. He pretended not to notice the chat losing their minds. He listened. OMG whipped already. Kenma taking orders? Historic moment. Anon is mysterious but effective. Kenma set the bottle down, cheeks warming under the headset. You're all so annoying. Kenma's avatar dug deeper into the cave, torchlight flickering across pixel walls. The stream had calmed into its usual rhythm, background music low, Kenma half muttering instructions to himself, the chat filling in the silence. Until another flash lit the corner of the screen. Anonymous donated 25 yen. Don't forget breaks between games. Even 5 minutes helps. Kenma stared at the donation alert longer than necessary. His fingers hovered over the keyboard. Dart, you're persistent. He said under his breath. The chat instantly jumped on it. Bro again? Anonymous is Loki rich WTF. Okay, reveal yourself RN. Sugar daddy behavior. Oh, they rich. Kenma snorted softly through his nose, which only egged them on. Kenma laughed. At Anon, clip it chat clip it. Nah, he's down bad. He shook his head, hair falling into his face. You're all reading into it too much. We're literally not. This is insane. Someone donating rent money and you say too much? Who TF has pockets this deep for Minecraft Catboy? How is you rich? Kenma's mouth twitched. He tried to hide it by focusing on placing blocks, but the grin almost slipped. That's not how you spell it. He said it. Canon spelling, how is you rich? Anon must be blushing RN. Mystery millionaire, watch your back, we're onto you. And then, Anonymous donated 100 yen. Not rich. Just, priorities. Kenma's heart stuttered. He kept his eyes on the game, deliberately, but the corner of his lip curled before he could stop it. Priorities, huh? He murmured, almost to himself. Hello, priorities? Nah, this feels illegal. Chat, he's blushing, I swear. Even I am blushing TF. Kenma adjusted his headset, muttering, I'm not. But the warmth in his chest betrayed him, buzzing louder than the game's soundtrack. The cave Kenma was mining in flickered dark as he ran out of torches. He sighed into the mic. Guess that's a good stopping point. He was about to push on when his phone buzzed on the desk, screen lighting up with a new notification. He glanced down, a group chat request. The name at the top read Detective Agency, Kenma Edition. He blinked, suspicious. The members listed were only 3, himself, Haikyuu, and Takatora. His stomach sank. I'm ending early today, he muttered, clicking through the menus to wrap the stream. Thanks for watching, good night. The chat spammed goodbyes, questions, emotes, but Kenma already killed the feed. He unlocked his phone with a resigned thumb swipe. The group chat was already alive. Kenma, finally, took you long enough. You ended stream just for us, didn't you? No. Liar, you're blushing RN. I'm not even on camera anymore. That doesn't matter, you're still blushing. Again. Kenma sighed loudly. So mystery rich simp. Anonymous. What about them? Don't play dumb, we were watching. Haikyuu, yeah, and it was kinda hard to miss you spacing out every time they donated. NGL, I think you like it. I don't. And wait, why were you watching too? Excuse me? I mean the stream, why were you there? Obviously, I was making sure you didn't pass out again. See Kenma, they care about you also. Hi, I was watching too. You were always watching. Seriously, you were talking to yourself earlier and fainted later. I had to make sure you were okay. Also, I remembered Anon from yesterday's live, figured we should investigate eyes. What? Yeah, Haikyuu saw you mumbling. I heard you. Under your breath. Looked like you were fighting your own brain. You're imagining things. Sure, must have been the wind. And the fuck you mean investigate? Investigate, top priority Kenma safety. And sanity Kenma safety and sanity. You two are ridiculous. Maybe, but you're even more ridiculous fainting at school and streaming after. It's not a big deal. It kind of is. It's fine really. Oh sure. It's fine, the same words you said to Anon, right? Lol, horizontal ellipsis. Wait, don't get defensive. I just mean, fainting and worrying people, that's fine to care about. I know. Hey, it's okay to talk about it. Even a little. I'm fine. Oh, he's opening up a tiny bit. Shh, leave him. I guess it was kinda scary passing out like that. See, that wasn't so hard, just a little. Tiny victory dance, man dancing. You don't have to say more, just, that's enough for now. Yeah, but, come on, you were freaked out, admit it. Maybe a little. See, tiny step, it's just. I kinda wanted, the messages, I mean, to be from someone. Ooh, someone you trust? Or, someone you like? Maybe both, doesn't matter. Oh, it matters. Kenma, come on, spill a little more. I'm not gonna. That's fine, even saying a little is okay, we don't need details, just, that you felt it. I guess. Or my heart. Stop gushing. Just, be honest with yourself a tiny bit, that's all. Kenma stared at the chat, his fingers hovering over the keyboard, feeling that mix of warmth and embarrassment. He hadn't meant to admit anything, but the words were out. A little slip, and it was enough. See, you're softening. Maybe. Good, now rest. Tiny steps, remember. Kenma leaned back against the headboard, quiet, letting the chat fade while the warmth from their concern lingered longer than he expected. Kenma lay back on his bed, the soft glow of his laptop still illuminating the ceiling. The group chat had gone silent for now, Haikyuu and Tora letting him breathe after the tiny confession. He closed his eyes for a moment, letting the quiet wash over him. But even in the silence, his thoughts drifted back to the stream. The notifications, the donations, the careful words from Anonymous. Don't push yourself so hard. You don't need to prove anything. Even if it's nothing, don't brush it off. You matter more than you think. His fingers twitched on the blanket. He couldn't stop thinking about how personal it all felt, how pointed and comforting. He told himself it didn't matter who it was. Maybe it wasn't anyone he even knew. Maybe it was just a fan who cared. But deep down, a small part of him had wanted it to be someone. Someone he already knew. Someone whose presence made the chaos of the day feel lighter. He shook his head, trying to push the thought away, but the warmth lingered, stubborn and gentle. For the first time in a while, he didn't feel completely alone with it. Not with the messages, not with the donations, and not with Haikyuu and Tora just being there. Kenma exhaled slowly, curling under his blanket, letting the quiet settle around him. Maybe tomorrow he'd be able to think about it a little less, maybe not. But tonight, it was enough to just feel it.